In your book and in several interviews, you often talk about FGM, female genital mutilation. Um, Now, I did a video about that as well in Arabic, and some people will come and claim that FGM is actually a cultural practice. You can even see it in many African countries that they don't even embrace Islam, but they still practice FGM. What do you say if someone tells you, why are you accusing Islam of female genital mutilation? We have nothing in Hadith or nothing in Islam that dictates FGM.
Okay. So, first and foremost, there are four schools of thought, as you know. Out of those four schools of thought, three of them say that FGM is mandatory. And one of the schools of thought says that it's recommended. So, to say that it has nothing to do with Islam is just a bold faced lie. That's the first part of it. The second part of it is, again, like we said before, Islam is not a monolith. So there are different people in Pakistan practice Islam differently than people in Saudi Arabia, or people in Afghanistan are practicing it differently than people in Egypt. So there are going to be slight cultural differences between Muslims and how they practice their religions because they come from different cultures. They are different
Mhm.
people and they have different histories so yes, it's true that FGM is more prevalent in some countries than in other countries. That's absolutely correct. And it is also, you can find it being practiced by people of other religious beliefs, not only by Muslims. That's true as well. But none of that is, when people tell you FGM has nothing to do with Islam, they are more concerned about defending the religion of Islam rather than defending these little girls who are getting their clitoris cut off with razor blades. That's the key issue here, is those people don't care about FGM and they don't care about these girls and they don't care about the problem and how prevalent it is and how we have to fight it and how we have to educate or prosecute against it. Their concern is to pretend that it has nothing to do with Islam. Again, it's a lie. It has to do with Islam. You have to accept it. That's the first step, right? Denial isn't just a river in Egypt. You have to accept first that this is the truth, and then we can move forward from there. So yeah, that it's everything you said is true, but it's also true that it is a part of Islam.
Completely agree, and there's something. This topic in particular is very dear to me, and the reason is my mom personally suffered from FGM. She is one of five sisters, and they all except one experienced FGM growing up, and this is one of the dangers of background Islam. So we grew up in a Muslim country. They grew up in a very humble areas and humble. Her parents, well, my grandparents weren't uh, well educated. So when something is very much endorsed by the culture and by the religion in a majority Muslim country, it seems to have found its way to seep into the Coptic communities. Even the Christians in Egypt, they do practice FGM. Um, and yeah, and I do talk about this a lot, and people don't get the relation between, well, you're coming from a Christian background, so why are you attacking Islam? Because it was the fact that I grew up in a Muslim country that this seeped into a culture that didn't even embrace FGM to start with. So
Yeah.